We take a look at some spectacular art this week, art on a rock. Sri Lanka's largest collection of rock art is in Kurulangala, but it's not Sri Lankan art as you may think. There's more of a resemblance to Australian Aboriginal art. And guess what? This cave was discovered only in the 1980s. Oh, the things we learn. Now, leaving you to unravel that mystery, we welcome you to Kaleidoscope, where we are positive, daring, different. Today, as we descend into rock caves, we check out our heritage threads, sustainable tuktuks, and celebrate the rural woman. We are very appreciative of our partners on the show, Srilanka Live, CDB, and the Daily Morning. Thank you for being with us. Kaleidoscope is on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And if you like our show, subscribe and follow for weekly updates.
CDB Hybrid Leasing. Enjoy exclusive interest rate and much more for hybrids, plug-in hybrids, and EV vehicles.
Here's a quick look at the week that was on CDB Snapshot. We begin with a positive. Fitch Ratings affirms the National Insurer Financial Strength ratings of 7 Sri Lankan insurers to stable. The manufacturing PMI shows an index value of 45.7 in September, indicating a downturn in manufacturing activities, primarily in F&B, apparel and textiles. Sri Lanka announces plans to establish a Sri Lanka-Japan free trade zone. Sri Lanka and India resume passenger ferry services after 40 years with the Cheriyapani ferry service. India's Supreme Court declines legal recognition to same-sex marriages but rules that gay couples can adopt children. The world's first off-road solar SUV, named Stella Terra, drives across Morocco powered only by the sun. 543 Disney characters pose for a group photo in a new short film celebrating 100 years.
You focus on your goals. We will take care of the risks. Srilanka Life.
Welcome to Srilanka Life News Capsule. Today we are featuring a rather curious and ingenious idea. There are 1.5 million three-wheelers on Sri Lankan roads, which adds up to 31% of total vehicular air pollution, not to mention the sound pollution. But three-wheelers are the most versatile transport mode in Sri Lanka. Realizing the magnitude of the environmental impact, CDB, together with CodeGen, set up the pioneering eShift Concept Center to convert fossil fuel three-wheelers into electric three-wheelers and set up a knowledge-sharing hub for those who want to know more about sustainable mobility solutions and enable fast charging. We visited the brand new eShift Concept Center and I asked the MD CEO of CDB, Mahesh Nanekara, why CDB ventured into sustainable mobility solutions.
Part of the overall strategy of the organization, it's not something coming in isolation we have two pillars as we consider as the key enabling pillars. One side sustainability, other side tech pillar. So sustainability, under sustainability we have one vertical called net zero and the other vertical called socially conscious. So under net zero we have sustainable mobility solutions, accelerate sustainable mobility solutions, then accelerate household sustainable energy solutions, conservation and biodiversity. So that's where the sustainable mobility solutions fits into CDB. So even at present, out of our mobility lending book, about 25% represent hybrids, plug-in hybrids and EVs. So we want to expand that, and so we have initiated, this is I call it a first step of a 1,000-mile walk, conversion of three-wheelers. However, there are many challenges as well, like bringing down the cost of conversions, the duty, the cost of funds, convincing a customer. But we are confident that we can overcome these challenges, and with the help of all the other stakeholders. This is an ecosystem, this is not an individual game. Together we can make a tangible impact to our planet.
Why did you think of electrifying three-wheelers as a priority at this point?
Yeah, because it's a number. It's everyone talks only about carbon emission, but not only the carbon emission, the oil spillage also is huge. This box become a different box once it's converted. It's not just a three-wheeler being converted to electric, so it becomes a different device with different capability, different recognition. There's no service requirement, no noise. We expect, we consider this as a discovery-driven journey. There are a lot of unknowns than knowns. So maybe a five-star hotel that was not welcoming conventional three-wheeler might welcome electric three-wheeler into their hotel. So let's see how it goes.
Now on to our market sketch this week. At the Colombo Stock Exchange, prices and daily trading volumes continue to fall. The uncertainty in the Middle East has led to the recent upsurge of both gold and oil prices. Oil is now above $90 per barrel, and gold is hovering around $1,935 per ounce. A Mars Express satellite captures the terrain of Mars like we've never seen before, a vast system of deep and steep valleys called Noctis Labyrinthus. Time Out magazine has picked the world's coolest neighborhoods for the year. In first place is Laurelese in Colombia, while 5 of the top 10 are in Europe. Also featured are neighborhoods in Japan, Hong Kong, New Orleans and Ireland. You've seen her in Basic Instinct, and now Oscar-nominated actress Sharon Stone is conquering a whole new world with her abstract paintings. They came, they saw, they conquered. This month, the World Conquer Championships were held in Northamptonshire, England. What's conquering, you may ask? One of the funniest looking things I've ever seen. Rural women make up a quarter of the world's population and play an integral part in food systems, an integral role in poverty reduction, climate resilience and family well-being. In fact, the UN says rural women are the key to zero hunger. The Women's Chamber of Industry and Commerce launched a fund for micro and SME women entrepreneurs last week to empower women primarily from disadvantaged areas to contribute to the economy. And given that last week was the International Day of the Rural Woman, we are chatting with the chairperson of the Women's Chamber of Industry and Commerce, Anoji De Silva, on Let's Talk today. How do rural women contribute to the economy?
The definition of rural women in Sri Lanka is whoever who's not in the urban sector. So that's the majority of our SME entrepreneur women. And I think if you look at our contribution to the GDP, majority of the contribution, about 50%, comes from the SME sector. And that's where all the rural women are there. And personally, I think that number probably is understated because that's only the formal sector. Because if you look at women, there are a whole lot of rural women who are doing their own businesses which are not registered and as a result not counted. So I think unfortunately, even though they don't really get too much of support from everyone, they are the ones who are really keeping our economy ticking.
What sort of projects does the Women's Chamber actually do to uplift rural women?
So one thing is we focus on the small, medium and micro entrepreneur women. During COVID, we did a fantastic project with IFC. Because we couldn't really access women, but we still wanted to make sure, because we felt that is the time you really needed to reach out to entrepreneurs and to keep them motivated and help them to continue the business. So we did a digital academy where, like, over a 3-month period, very focused training was done once a week through Zoom. So we ultimately have like about 125 women trained from the Western Province, Hambantota, Kurunegala and the Northern Province. We also focus on the caregivers and the housemaids, because we feel that's a sector that really does not get the right support, and there is absolutely no dignity of labor. They are sent on jobs without the proper training. So at the moment, with the Australian aid, we are started a project in Kurragala to train women on caregivers and elderly care. We are also encouraging them to get the vocational training certification. And what we also plan to do is to do a basic CV for them, so that they know what a basic CV is and how to get a basic reference system, and then also to teach them on their financial planning.
What areas of work do you think rural women could engage in?
So they're very strong in food industry. A lot of them have gone into organic production, because what they say is, especially the ones who became mothers, they say they realize that they're feeding their children like all these vegetables which are not organic. So as a result, they've gone into a lot of organic production. There are a lot of women who do the beeralu craft, which is, I think they're the ones who are really keeping that craft going. And the other is, I think, the craft industry. So those are the three we've seen them, majority of them are in.
So, in terms of national policy, what do you think we could do in the immediate to make sure these rural women are empowered?
Firstly, I think we need to have data. For anything, we need to have data. This country has no data. If you ask the list of entrepreneurs in this country, both men and women, we don't have that. So I think as a basic thing, we need to first do who the entrepreneurs are, get them listed, so that once they are listed, they have validity. Even for a bank, there is some kind of criteria that is done to list them. Plus also building them market access. Now even like making digital marketplaces that are available. So we should also have national policies that help and encourage them to export. So if government can actually get like one set of policies without each division, each ministry doing a different set of policies, and then clearly have a simple policy, this is what you do, this is where you go, I think that will be very helpful.
Thank you. I hope your wish comes true. It was all about heritage woven into modernity, and seen on the catwalk, it was truly mesmerizing. On Life in 60 today, we feature Heritage Hands, the Island of Artisans, a label that collaborates with the IDB and luxury resort wear label Rachel Raj in an enthralling collection of innovation, fashion and design. Sri Lanka's textile cottage industry has been one of the island's best kept secrets, whether it's Dumbara weavers from the hills, the Beeralu lace makers from the south, the North's Palmyra fibre textiles, and handcrafted batik and handloom. The uniqueness of this artisanal craft are on the brink of extinction, and there are over 20,000 people engaged in this legacy craft. Sarita Rajandran, founder and MD of Rachel Raj and the Rachel Raj Foundation, used her detailed eye to create multiple collections that articulate not just these centuries-old cottage industries, which are passed down from generation to generation, but also elevated each design with a modern twist suitable for the contemporary man and woman. The designs walking the ramp showcase Sri Lanka's indigenous textile craft in modern design palettes juxtaposing the old and the new, bridging the gap between tradition and contemporary fashion. This weekend, add a little something 100% Sri Lankan to your collection. We'll see you next week.